Welcome to another tidbit of timely truth. There's a passage in John chapter 8, verse number 12, where we're told of a time when Jesus spoke to people who had come to hear him teach. And he told them, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." You know, Brenda and I have honestly gotten out of a habit that we need to make current again, and that's going on evening walks. Now, we both closely monitor our daily steps, but we do it independently from each other, and we do that during the course of our daily routines. Not long ago, after we would finish dinner, we would head outside to make a 1 to 2 mile loop around our neighborhood. But we got out of the habit of it when colder weather came, and we just not resumed that, even though the weather's nice once again. But here's an observation I've made during those walks. While most of our streets here in our community have streetlights, as you walk toward the outskirts of town, there are very few, if any, lights to illuminate your path. Now, once we get into that habit again, if it's at the time of day when darkness is approaching, how hard would it be to just take a pocket-sized flashlight to bring light to those dark areas? The glow of a flashlight is wide enough for us to see the road and to feel safe, and equally important, it will also allow approaching cars to see us. Now keep that in mind when I talk to you about this passage in which Jesus was speaking to these people. The light of Jesus came after more than 400 years of silence from God. And during that time, there were no prophets to speak to or lead God's people. Now that's between the Old Testament book of Malachi and the New Testament book of Matthew. So when Jesus arrived in the New Testament, a change took place. Those 400 plus years of darkness were brought to an end for all of those who had been waiting and hoping and praying for illumination from a man of God. So Jesus, God's only Son, was that man. And those who followed Jesus walked with the light of the world. And the illumination he brought to people's lives brought an awareness of their darkness, their sin. And through Jesus, they were guided back into the relationship they had with God before sin darkened the world that he had created. Jesus brought God's presence, his protection, and his guidance back into our world once again. And what was true back then is still true for us today, some 2,000 years later. The light of Jesus enables us to see ourselves as we really are, sinners in need of a Savior. And when we stay close to Jesus, his light is a wide enough circle for us to clearly see the road in front of us and feel safe, how to avoid evil, and to allow us to be seen in God's eyes as people who belong to him. We can feel safe with him. Jesus' light illuminates the darkness no matter where we walk. And let me encourage you to walk in that light as well. Join me next time for another tidbit of timely truth.